All right, hello everybody and welcome. This is chapter 1.1, our very first video in a number that we're going to be looking at this year as we go through this algebra course. In this video, we are looking at reviewing some basics, evaluating expressions. So we've got our common core standard over here that this matches on the left. And on the right, these are the two things that you will be able to do by the end of this series of videos, which there will be a couple of them with spots in between for you to stop and try some problems on your own. So by the end of this chapter 1.1 series of videos, you should be able to evaluate an expression and evaluate an exponent. So let's go ahead and start by looking at some important vocabulary to make sure we know these. First is that we understand what a variable is. That is a letter or symbol used to represent one or, oh, that's not how you spell or, more than one number. So this could be like an X or a Y, but it can be symbols too. It doesn't have to be a letter, right? We could replace something with a smiley face, and the smiley face can be representing a number or even an expression. Okay, so a variable is just, it's a placeholder. So there's a letter or a symbol that is a placeholder for something else. We've also got an algebraic expression. This is an expression that contains at least one variable. So this is an expression, right? 3 times x. There's 3 plus x. There's 2 minus x. Anything that any expression that has a variable in it is an algebraic expression. Notice that none of these contain equal signs. If it has an equal sign, it's an equation. Next, we've got a power. A power is an expression that represents repeated multiplication. So if we had 3 squared, remember that that 2 up there is the exponent, also known as the power. And what that says is take 3 and multiply it by itself twice. If this was 3 to the 4th power, then this would be 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. A power represents repeated multiplication. 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, that's 3 to the 4th power. Notice that 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, just because it's here, this 3 times 3 is 9, 9 times 3 is 27, 27 times 3 is 81, right? So it's not 3 times 4, that's 12. This is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. And our last word here, the exponent and the base. So as we said in this previous one up here, this number up here is the exponent. This number down here is the base. Right? The number that you are multiplying over and over again is considered the base. So evaluating an expression, that's what we're going to do with expressions in this particular section. And to evaluate an expression just simply means that we're going to substitute a number for each variable and then perform the operations, right? And when I say perform the operations, that means do things like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Oops, and division. It also might mean something like combining like terms, which we will review in future videos, but you should have seen this in a previous math course if you're taking Algebra 1. This is all performing operations, okay? So let's do a couple of quick examples here. So for each example, we're going to evaluate the expression for n equals 3. So our first expression here is 13 times, this is a multiplication symbol. You might be used to seeing it as the x in algebra. We use a dot or like a little star like that. So that's 13 times n. So what we're going to do is replace the n with 3, because n equals 3 means that n and 3 are the same thing. So that's 13 times 3, which is 39. So I substituted in, I performed the operations, and I got my final value. Here we've got 9 divided by n. Again, we should be used to, in algebra, starting to use the fraction line as our division. So this is 9 divided by n, which means we're doing 9 divided by 3 because we're replacing the n with 3, and we get 3 because we perform the operation. We have n minus 1. We're going to replace the n with 3, and then we're going to complete the operation, 2. And then finally, an addition problem, we have n plus 8, which is, we're going to replace the n with 3. That's 3 plus 8, and that's 11. So notice on these ones, they're all one step, right? We're going to do some order of operations in section 1.2, but for now, we're just making sure we can do the evaluation, the substitution here. So that's all we have for this particular video. There's going to be some practice problems for you in your note packet that you should do now. And once you finish those, you're going to want to start the next video in the series to see the worked out solutions to make sure you did them right, and then look at the next portion that we need to look at in 1.1. So thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you in just a minute in the next video. Bye.